The morning sun crept over Washington, D.C., painting the Capitol dome with golden light. The air buzzed with an unshakable tension. Word had spread that today's congressional hearing was going to be unlike any other. At the center of it all, Representative Jasmine Crockett, a sharp, fearless voice who had earned a reputation for demolishing hypocrisy with precision, and Representative Madison Cawthorn, a figure constantly shrouded in controversy. The chamber filled quickly, cameras flashing as journalists whispered predictions of what might unfold. Networks had already branded the day the clash on Capitol Hill. Viewers across the nation tuned in, popcorn in hand, ready for political theater that promised more than routine debates. Cawthorn, seated with his usual defiance, leaned back in his chair with a smirk. His supporters in the gallery cheered when he walked in, waving flags and chanting his name. His critics, however, sat in stony silence, waiting for the moment when his bravado would be tested. Jasmine Crockett entered moments later. She carried no theatrics, only a thick binder of documents, tabs sticking out like colorful daggers. The crowd erupted in applause as she took her seat, and for a brief moment, the smirk on Cawthorn's face flickered. The committee chair called the meeting to order, the gavel slamming against the wooden block with a crack that echoed through the chamber. Today we are here to address allegations concerning misinformation, misuse of funds, and deliberate misrepresentation of facts presented to the American people. All eyes turned to Crockett and Cawthorn. Cawthorn was first to speak. "This is yet another witch hunt by radical leftists who hate America," he declared, his voice rising with self-righteous indignation. "I have done nothing wrong. Every word I have spoken was to protect freedom and the Constitution." The gallery cheered, but Crockett sat unmoved, her gaze steady on him. When the chair yielded the floor to her, the room shifted. Silence fell. Even the cameras seemed to zoom in closer, hungry for what was coming. "Congressman Cawthorn," Jasmine began calmly, her voice controlled but carrying the weight of authority. "You've spoken often of transparency and truth. Yet your record tells a different story." She opened her binder, sliding a document onto the desk for the committee to see. Exhibit A, financial statements indicating funds you claimed were directed to veterans organizations were instead funneled to private accounts connected to your campaign. Gasps filled the chamber. Cawthorn's face tightened, but he forced a grin. Fabricated lies. Classic political smear tactic. Crockett didn't flinch. Exhibit B, recordings, your own words, contradicting statements you made under oath just last year. You claimed never to have met certain lobbyists, yet here you are, photographed at multiple events with them, accepting donations. She let the photos appear on the screen behind her, each one damning. The gallery erupted. Some shouted in disbelief, others applauded. Cawthorn's smirk faltered completely. He tried to recover. "This is all taken out of context. The media twists everything. I fight for the people." Crockett cut him off, her tone sharper now. "You fight for yourself. You preach patriotism while exploiting those who believed in you. And today, I will show every American watching that your words, your so-called truths, are nothing but lies." The room went silent again. Even the chair leaned forward, sensing the moment history was being written. Cawthorn's hands gripped the table tightly, his knuckles white. For the first time, doubt flashed across his face. But what no one in the room knew, what the cameras had yet to capture, was that his response would not only stun Crockett, but shake the nation to its core. The silence in the chamber was suffocating. Cameras zoomed in on Madison Cawthorn's face, beads of sweat glistening under the harsh lights. Jasmine Crockett's evidence had cornered him, leaving little room to maneuver. Everyone expected him to lash out with anger, to double down on denial. Instead, Cawthorn leaned forward slowly, gripping the microphone with trembling hands. His smirk was gone, in its place was something no one expected, fear. "You think you know everything, Congresswoman," he began, his voice low, almost trembling. "But you don't. None of you do. And if I fall, I'm not falling alone." The chamber erupted in gasps. Crockett arched an eyebrow but said nothing, waiting. Cawthorn's eyes darted around the room. "You've shown the people pictures, documents, recordings, but do you think I'm the only one? Do you think these clean politicians sitting here are innocent? I have receipts too. And if I'm going down, I will expose every single one of them." The room exploded into chaos. Committee members shouted over one another, the chair pounding the gavel to restore order. The gallery buzzed with disbelief. Crockett, however, stayed calm. She leaned back in her chair, eyes fixed on him, voice cutting through the noise. So your defense is blackmail. Cawthorn's lips curled into a bitter smile. Call it what you want. But America deserves the truth, doesn't it? And the truth is that corruption doesn't belong to just one side. You came here to expose me, Congresswoman. But I can expose all of you. The journalists in the room went into a frenzy, typing furiously, phones buzzing as networks scrambled to prepare breaking news banners. Crockett stood slowly, gathering her papers. Then do it. Expose them. Expose me, if you can. But understand this, what I've presented today isn't about political parties or personal vendettas. It's about accountability. You can point fingers all you want, but right now, the American people are watching you dodge responsibility for your own lies. The gallery roared with applause. The chair ordered silence again, but it was too late, the energy had shifted. Cawthorn, visibly shaken, slammed a stack of folders onto the desk. Fine. You want proof. Here it is. He opened the folder, waving documents in the air. Secret deals, private payments, names you all know. You want transparency. Let's give America the raw, ugly truth. The committee chair stood, alarm written across his face. Congressman Cawthorn, sit down. You are out of order. But Cawthorn wasn't listening. He began reading names, dates, and alleged connections, his voice trembling between anger and desperation. The gallery went wild, half cheering, half booing. Journalists shouted into cameras, trying to capture the storm as it unfolded. Crockett raised her voice above the chaos. Enough. The authority in her tone silenced the chamber. All eyes turned back to her. You're not exposing corruption. You're weaponizing chaos. You're trying to drag the nation into your downfall. But America doesn't need your panic, it needs your honesty. So answer me clearly, Congressman. Did you or did you not misuse funds meant for veterans? The question hung in the air like a blade. Cawthorn froze. His jaw tightened. The cameras zoomed in closer. He opened his mouth, then shut it. The silence was deafening. Finally, his voice cracked. Yes. The word echoed through the chamber, through the cameras, across the nation. The gallery gasped, some crying out in disbelief. Crockett stood firm, her expression unreadable. Cawthorn continued, his tone shifting from anger to despair. Yes, I did it. I told myself it was temporary, that I'd pay it back, that no one would ever know. But I couldn't stop. And, the deeper I got, the more lies I told. And now it's all crumbling. For a moment, no one spoke. America sat frozen in front of their screens, stunned that a sitting congressman had just confessed live, under oath, before millions. Crockett closed her binder and stepped forward. Her voice softened, but it carried the weight of finality. That's the truth the people needed to hear. Not your threats, not your deflections, just the truth. And while it may be too late to undo the damage you've caused, it's never too late to accept accountability. The chair ordered security to escort Cawthorn out. As he was led away, flashes from cameras blinded the room, capturing the historic downfall. Jasmine Crockett turned back to the audience, speaking not just to those in the chamber but to every American watching. This is not about party lines. It's about integrity. Let today be a reminder, power without accountability is corruption, and corruption will always be exposed. The chamber erupted in applause, this time without interruption. Across the nation, households buzzed with shock. Social media exploded, hashtags trending within seconds. Hashtag Crockett exposes lies, hashtag Cawthorn confession, hashtag accountability matters. By nightfall, every major network replayed the clip of Cawthorn's trembling voice admitting his guilt. Analysts called it one of the most shocking political moments of the decade. But above all the noise, one thing became clear: Jasmine Crockett had not only exposed Madison Cawthorn's lies, she had reminded America of the power of truth. And that truth shook the nation.